Hey yo, what is up guys? Your boy's back with yet another video, and yes, I'm actually filming this one outside because people in my house are trying to sleep. So, you should be happy that I'm bringing you this because it's actually really cold out. It's only 3 degrees out and I am freezing my ass off. But as always, star ratings are in the description below, and if you want to follow me on Instagram, link for that will also be in the description, and make sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe. So, getting into it, we are talking about WrestleMania 20 today, and so I think my last WrestleMania I talked about was WrestleMania 10, so today we're talking about 20, and this show was a very, very good show for most aspects of it. So we're just going to be talking about a few matches here, and yeah, so the show opened with John Cena's first WrestleMania match. So this is actually kind of iconic for John Cena, obviously, for what he would go on to do the next year in Hollywood. So he was wrestling Big Show here for the United States champion. So Big Show was coming in as United States champion, and Cena was challenging. So this match here was nothing really special. It was kind of just Big Show. He had him in a camel clutch here for most of the match. It wasn't really like that long or that exciting, but Cena, he was quite over here in New York. People really, really liked him. He hit Big Show in the face with the freaking brass knucks or the chain or whatever, and he hits an FU and he gets the win on Cena. I just realized that the FU, F5, so that's why he called it the FU, is because he was feuding with Brock Lesnar the year prior, so he's like FU, F5, F5, FU or whatever. So I kind of just realized that, but yeah, solid showing for Cena in his first WrestleMania. Just win against Giant. So yeah, next in the match we're going to talk about here is Christian versus Chris Jericho. And now, so the whole feud of this match was kind of revolving around Trish Stratus, where both guys were trying to hook up with Trish. And yeah, so Trish, so that was kind of like the feud of this. Anyways, so the wrestling match of this was really, really good. Christian, very, very good heel in this match, just pulling on Chris Jericho's hair, using the ropes for covers and stuff. Very, very, very sneaky. And Jericho, this is a very, very athletic match and a very, very good paced back and forth battle between these guys. Like, it was very, very back and forth for pretty much a majority of this match. And it was Chris Jericho, like, right off the bat of this match, I should throw this, he threw the best punch I seen. Like, it just looks so good. He's just like, bam, and Christian just dropped. It looked very, very good. I really like the Walls of Jericho spot where Chris Jericho has him in the walls. Christian crawls out of the ring, and then Jericho kind of falls out with him, but still has him in the walls. That looked really, really cool. But yeah, just a really, really solid worked match here. Both guys brought it, very, very competitive. And yeah, so the ending came when Trish Stratus came to the ring. So I have to throw this out there. The commentating in this match, Jerry Lawler was on fire. Like, when Trish is running to the ring, he's like, look, what's Trish doing here? Coming to make jogging a spectator sport? I laughed so hard at that. Or like, what is it? He goes, look at this, wrestling and women, they don't mix. And all these like just one-liners and stuff. It was just so funny, the entire match. Yeah, so that was a very, very excellent match. And so Christian, he picks up the win here off Trish kind of getting involved. And then Trish she was going to hit Christian because Jericho was like over to look at her, and then she like elbows Jericho. Christian comes and gets a roll up, and then she turns on him after the match. And yeah, so this match here was very, very, very good. I really liked this match, and it's just a solid undercard match at a WrestleMania, so nothing to really complain about here. Next up, I have a lot to say about this match, because this match here was, I can't remember if people really like this match or they don't like this match or what they think of this match, but I'm going to give my thoughts on this match, and I'm going to see if anyone really, what anyone really says about it. So, the Rock and Sock Connection versus Evolution in a handicap match. So Triple H, he was main eventing in the triple threat at the end of the show, so he wasn't involved in this, obviously. So it was Ric Flair, Batista, Randy Orton versus the Rock and Sock Connection, Mick Foley and The Rock. So I don't know if this is the first Mick Foley match I'm reviewing. I can't tell for sure, but I really, really like Mick Foley, hardcore legend, great wrestler. So this match here had just an epic promo. Rock, this is the end of kind of like The Rock's original run in WWE, is really what this was. Because when you kind of like think about it, like, he was still not active, but like, he'd still appear every year leading up to this. So I think his last match was against Goldberg in 2003, and then he came back for this match because Mick Foley kind of picked a fight with Randy Orton, and the numbers were too much, so then he brought back The Rock for this big match, and this was really excellent. Rock cut this awesome promo right before the match, and he's like, Lillian, the buffet is closed. I laughed so hard at that. Anyways, he's going around talking with the legends, and you just know The Rock just loves wrestling and talking about all the legends and stuff who came before him. Very, very good stuff. And The Rock, like, there's that saying where it's like, what is it? The Rock proved, like, he's the dude. Like, I can see why people love The Rock and why Rock's one of the best ever to do it, because, like, he wrestled his ass off in this match. This was, like, The Rock brought it here. Like, he was like, you know what? This is the kind of the last match for the original Rock run, and he gave it everything he had. Like, there would have been more Rock matches. Like, I think he would have had a match with Shawn Michaels the next year, but that didn't happen. So here, I can't even, like, I love this match. I get that out of the way quickly. Like, this match was so entertaining and so fun to watch. There's just so many legends in it. You have, like, 3 living legends in the match with Mick Foley, Ric Flair, and The Rock all just going at it. And Batista and Randy Orton being, like, the 2 up-and-comers in this match. So it was just a solid, fun WrestleMania match. And I don't think this match gets talked about a lot. Just a really fun tag match here. Mick Foley hit that awesome elbow drop, like, right off the start of this match. And Rock was just on fire throughout the entire thing. Just, like, the absolute, like, you could just tell, like, the move, like, I can't even, like, describe, like, those little, like when he was in there with Rick and he's, like, doing, like, the shuffle and everything like that. And he is just, like, he was wrestling the style of just a total showman, and the crowd was just in it. Like, so good. Randy Orton, just excellent stuff. Batista, very, very solid performance for his first WrestleMania. I can't say enough good things about this match. Like, I was so blown away by how good it was, and I recommend people watch it because I'm really interested to see what, like, other people say about this match, because it was just, I loved it. I thought it was a great match, so I gave it 4 stars. I thought this was excellent stuff, and it was just, like, such a feel-good match, and that's kind of just how I felt, like, coming out of this, and just how much fun I had watching this. And yeah, that's really what I have to say. I don't remember really what I thought of it when I watched it on the Randy Orton DVD when I was a teenager, but that's oh well, because it doesn't matter, because now I watched it and I loved it and I thought it was great. Okay, so next up is considered to be one of the worst matches ever, and yeah, Brock Lesnar versus Bill Goldberg. Both guys were leaving. Everyone knew it. There was na goodbye chants. They were booed heavily. The match just sucked. The match was terrible. It was brutal. Stone Cold Steve Austin got to stun both guys. Yeah, that's really. It was just such a stupid match. Not like it was just like, bye guys. Like, why was this on the show? I don't know. Everyone just hated it. I hated the match. It was just kind of like, ooh, we'll do like a power guy match and then just stand here and stare at each other for the first 3 minutes and like not do anything. And then Bill Goldberg won, and it was like there was like 3 moves obviously in the match. It's Bill Goldberg. This match sucked. They redeemed themselves in Survivor Series 2016, but this match sucked. That's all I have to say. The match sucked. And that's it. Yeah, negative star. Negative stars, baby. Negative. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, we got to talk about something good here, and that is Eddie Guerrero defending his WWE Championship he won previously at No Way Out against Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle. This match here was just such a fun, excellent wrestling match. Eddie, his first title defense out of WrestleMania, his only title defense out of WrestleMania, and this is just a really, really fun match. Just the grappling of this match early on, and Kurt Angle just kind of like getting the edge on him throughout the match at little points and stuff. I really like the moment when Eddie he hit a move. I think he hit he kind of like shoved Kurt Angle off the off the ring ropes, and then he goes for the frog splash, and the frog splash just like, and he missed it, but I liked it because it was just like, it was just such like a sports element to it, right? Like, you see your chance, you go for it, and that's kind of what he saw, and he went for it and just missed, and he was close. He ends up hitting it after he hits like the three amigos on Kurt, then he hits the frog splash, but Kurt manages to kick out. So Kurt had just like out wrestled Eddie for like a lot of this match. Looked very, very exhausting because Eddie was just like, fuck, this guy is just right on top of me. What do I do? And then he eventually man, he's got my ankle. He's going to go back for the ankle. Like, I got an idea. I'll just undo my boot so that way I'll have like a little bit of leeway here. So when Kurt goes back for the ankle lock, he's able to pull his foot out. And then Kurt's like, man, I just got his boot now. Now what do I do? And then Eddie gets the roll up on him. So very, very smart tactical move by Eddie Guerrero. Again, using ring awareness to get his W. So yeah, this match here, it was a very, very good match. Obviously, like, a lot of people know this match was really, really good. Eddie and Kurt, they're two of the best wrestlers of their generation, of that time. And rest in heaven, Eddie Guerrero, because this was just an excellent match for you to have at one of your last WrestleManias. And yeah, very, very good stuff here. And obviously, watch this match. It's really, really good. So, next up is Undertaker versus Kane. Now, there was a lot of talk about, so the Undertaker, he was the biker for like 3 years before this match, before he eventually lost to Vince McMahon in that Buried Alive match at Survivor Series 2003, because Kane cost him the match. And yeah, I talked about a little bit about this in the last review, but yeah, Kane would just come out and cut his promos on Undertaker and be like, my older brother is not the dead man, or not the ass kicker he once was. He loves America now, and other stuff. Yeah, I summed it up pretty good there. Anyways, so this match here, like, Kane's entrance was really, really cool. Like, when he came out, like, the fire on, like, the New York City was pretty cool. So then the Undertaker came out, classic Dead Man. And I didn't really realize this because it's like, I'd only grown up on, like, the Dead Man, right? Because, like, when I was watching, he was the Dead Man. I started watching, like, 06, 05. He was the Dead Man. I had no idea about the biker Undertaker until, like, later on when I got YouTube. So, like, this match, when I watched it for like the first time, was kind of a disappointment to me because I love that WrestleMania 14 match, and I love Kane versus Undertaker and their feud. Like, I like their Inferno match at like Unforgiven, and yeah, they just have some really fun, entertaining matches. And then this was just one of those cases where I was like, that was it, like, when I watched it. But like, I watch it now and it was just kind of like, reminds me of when I used to play like SmackDown versus Raw games, because it was just like a 7-minute match where it's like Kane was kind of just like trying to like stay away from the Undertaker, and he's kind of like scared of him. He's like, whoa, 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 and then he's like trying to like get his like one up on the Undertaker. He had a pretty cool choke slam and a sidewalk slam when he actually like tried to fight back, but it was pretty much just the Undertaker whooping his ass. Like, Undertaker right off the bat, like blah, 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 and he's like throwing everything he had at Kane. So yeah, and then essentially, I think, yeah, he hits a pretty cool old school on Kane. This is like, I mean, like, it was good stuff in the match, and it had like an iconic moment, because like this match here was what brought back the Dead Man, and the Dead Man was back for like 16 years pretty much, because yeah, this is like when the OG Dead Man came back. And yeah, so this match here has a lot of historical standpoint. So like I said about the John Cena match at the beginning, same as this match here. So it's like, it's just such like a little thing, but it blew up into like, it like lasted for such a long time. So yeah, all right, finally it is time to talk about the main event. This is probably the most infamous main event in WWE history, in a way, when you kind of think about it. WrestleMania 20 main event, Triple H versus Shawn Michaels versus Chris Benoit for the World Heavyweight Championship. A match that I'm going to talk about. And yeah, Chris Benoit won the Royal Rumble. Shawn Michaels signs the contract, because that's how wrestling contracts work. Your name's on it. You win the match, son. If I was a pro wrestler, I'd be hitting the ring, signing all the contracts for all my world title matches. But whatever. So Shawn Michaels is also in the match. So Triple H, he has to defend against two guys. And the start of the match was just kind of Chris Benoit and Shawn Michaels just going at Triple H and just trying to get the edge on him, and they would have one guy would be beating on Triple H in the corner, and then Chris Benoit would pull off Shawn Michaels, then he'd be whooping on Triple H, and then so this was like a this is probably what most would probably call the greatest triple threat match in the history of WWE. Is probably what most people would call this, because this was a wicked match. Like, Shawn Michaels, he did that moonsault off the ring apron, not the ring apron, off the ring post onto Triple H and Chris Benoit, and that was wicked. And they were having like this wicked competitive match between like three guys all at the same time, like in the ring. Like, you'd have like a moment where like Shawn Michaels would get hit and knocked down, and then it'd be like Triple H and Chris Benoit would be going at it for like a little bit, and then Chris Benoit would get knocked out, and then it'd be like Triple H and Shawn Michaels, and then like, so there was a point here, I think, where Chris Benoit and Triple H, they're in the ring, and Chris Benoit, he's hitting like suplexes on Triple H, and then he gets him in, like, I think it was the sharpshooter, and then Shawn Michaels kind of comes in and he breaks it up, and then so like, who was it Shawn? I think Shawn and Chris Benoit are on the outside, and then like Shawn gets hit in the freaking ring apron. He gets on the ring post and his face is busted open, and then I think that came off the turnbuckle throw where the slingshot where he kind of like grabbed his legs and he slung him into the corner, and Shawn Michaels' head hit off that. So Shawn Michaels was busted open. So then I think that was where Triple H got busted open, was on that moment there. And so Shawn Michaels and Triple H, they all end up out on the ring steps, and Shawn Michaels and Triple H, they're staring at each other like, we got to work together to take this fool out. And they launch him through into the next freaking ring announcer's desk next to him. And then so the Shawn Michaels gets back in the ring, he's like, you and me, bro, 1v1. Triple H goes in there. So this was obviously just such a wicked, memorable match for most people, and as you can tell, I love the match, and I think it's a very, very excellent match. So let's talk about the 18-year odyssey of Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit, smaller wrestler. He was probably never expected to get to that point in the business. He had wrestled all over the world in WCW, Japan, Mexico. You know the story, Canada. He was the last of like the Stampede guys, wrestled in the dungeon of Stu Hart. So he very much had quite the journey there. He was not expected to be there. A smaller guy, not very charismatic, just a freaking tenacious mofo. Like, he was called the Rabid Wolverine for an exact reason. And when he got that win at the Rumble, it was a lot, I imagine, for the fans who just like were fans of, like, I was of Daniel Bryan when this is probably what that was like for them, and Eddie Guerrero, and watching those guys who are just these insanely talented guys overcome all the odds in front of them. And that's what this was. Chris Benoit, he gets Triple H in the crippler crossface. Triple H, he's doing everything he can to get out of this, and he's trying to get to the ropes. And then so Triple H is like, I can't get to the ropes, so I'll try to reverse it. So he rolls out, but Chris Benoit, he rolls through, holding in that crippler crossface. Triple H realized he got nowhere to go. Shawn Michaels is on the outside, got dumped by Benoit a couple minutes earlier, and that is it. He taps out, and Chris Benoit is now your World Heavyweight Champion. And the emotion of him winning and the celebration by the crowd and Eddie Guerrero coming to the ring, to a lot of wrestling fans, this is the greatest wrestling moment. This is was their favorite wrestling moment that they had ever seen, watching one guy climb the mountain and overcome all the odds and all the adversity against him, and just never was supposed to really be there. And he did it. I mean, he won the World Championship in WCW, so I guess technically he did already climb the mountain, but like, to make it in WWE, the land of the giants, very, very inspiring stuff here. So with all that said, like, the epic ending with Chris Benoit's family coming into the ring, David, his son Daniel, Eddie being there, and them hugging and celebrating as these guys who were just complete underdogs winning. So now we got to talk about what kind of came after, because that's kind of what tainted this moment, and that's what makes this really, really sad, because this was an awesome moment and an awesome way for it to go down, similar to how WrestleMania 10 ended with Bret Hart up on the shoulders of all the good guys. Yeah, this was sad. Like, when you watch it back now and you're just like, wow, this should be this great moment that people remember and like get to kind of enjoy, but instead it's kind of like bittersweet in a way, because a lot of people are still fans of Benoit for everything he did in the wrestling ring, and I can understand that. I can respect that people are like, can watch his matches and not have an issue with it, but it's very, very sad to see just like what had happened and where things had went for this guy, and how tragic of an event that really, really was. So that sucks that this match is essentially deleted, and this whole WrestleMania is completely not necessarily forgotten about, but it's just not, it'll never get talked about in the way that it should, because of obviously what had happened with this guy. And yeah, that's really all I'll really say in this video, is that it's tragic. Is really what this is. It's just like, it's bittersweet to just watch this really great moment, and then just to see like how it's just completely torn away in like just like a way that no one in that arena, I'm sure, could have even foreseen or even imagined at that point in watching. Now, yeah, that's what I'll say. But WrestleMania 20 is still a great wrestling show, and if you can get past the darker parts of what you're really watching nowadays, you're going to watch a really, really great wrestling show. And that's what this was. And I remember like some people were mixed on it. I think this was, obviously it had one of the worst matches ever on it, but you've had a great main event, a great world title match, some good undercard matches, some iconic moments that kind of stood forever. And yeah, that's what this show was. So let me know what you guys thought of WrestleMania 20, and give me your thoughts down below. Anyways, I gotta go. I'm freezing my ass off. Peace out, guys.